Killing it. This hand has turn 2 mentor, has a repeal, and a Knight's Whisper. Any Moxen makes this a turn 1 mentor or Knight's Whisper. Not our strongest hand today, but I think it's a keep. I would keep this 6, so. Well, that means our Soul Ring's more likely to resolve, so that's kind of nice. I'm gonna go get an island, and then we'll fetch a Tundra next turn. They misstep that? Wow. Oh, they're not on library. Alright, they plan to not go on library. Interesting. Is this a standstill? Oh. Alright, I mean, that's an interesting choice. It chose not to shuffle as well. Any Moxen still puts us on a mentor here. Alright, just Knight's Whisper then. Quite an awkward hand with no Moxen. Still fine though. We can resolve a mentor, it should be good enough. Even if we can't resolve a mentor, we have Yawgmoth's Will to bring it back. It's gonna be a Dak Faden probably. That would make sense if they didn't want to get on library, but because they had a Dak Faden. No, nothing there. I wonder if this means they're playing Mana Drain. I feel like we're gonna get Mana Drained, but we have a Force of Will, so that's good. We're jamming right into it for sure now that we have Force of Will. I'm also willing next turn to go scroll for Ancestral because we have this Yawg Will as well. Interesting. What happened? They have a Braid or Lightning Bolt then? They have a Lightning Bolt? So we get wrecked by a Spell Pierce, a Flusterstorm, or a Pyro if we counter this. I still don't even hate it. Getting a token in play is like pretty reasonable here. Circle's Recall is pretty bad anyways. I think this is a reasonable play to make. This feels a little weird, but it's probably going to end up being a 2 for 2 and then a 1 for 1. And then we still end up with a 2 Lightning Bolts. We still end up with a token, and we have Yawg Will anyways, so I don't really hate that. Next turn, I think we'll scroll for Ancestral. That way, we can look to like Yawgmoth Ancestral or something. Are we gonna get Snapcaster bolted on our Monk? Gosh, that's really good. Puts them on library. God, Gush is so good with library. They used so many cards and then just still got right back onto library. That's so frustrating. They can still Snap Bolt us. Dak Faden. Well, Dak Faden will die. Well, Dak Faden might not die. Depends on what happens. If we draw a Moxen, Dak Faden will die. Game is completely brutal. Felt like we were so far ahead, and then they cast Gush, and we were immediately so far behind. Alright, back off library. I don't know why you keep getting back off library. I would just stay on library. You have Dak and library, like that's a pretty powerful thing. Alright, so hopefully, I mean, we're just going to get misstepped is what's going to happen if we Merchant Scroll. 100% to get misstep, probably. God, that's a terrible draw. An absolutely awful draw. We've not drawn a Mox this game. How are we going to PO? So, misstep check. It definitely has a misstep. Misstep is so dumb. Misstep is completely and utterly dumb. So frustrating to try to play against blue decks when they just can tap out and counter any of your spells for 1 or 2 cards. Ugh. Guess we should just be happy that our opponent doesn't want to stay on library. Sylvan, huh? So Rug. But not Sperling because got a library in it. Yeah, that's unfortunate. So if they have no counter spells, I can repeal it. Can we not draw PO with no Moxen? Alright, what do you got? Any spell fucks me. Excuse my language. Yep, Spell Pierce. I mean, they're at 2 cards. Jump with Elemental, probably. Hoping next turn this Yawgmoth will resolves, but I'm not extremely hopeful. So pitched a Force of Will. Matter though, does it? We're just gonna get buried. Yep. Rough. Sure, pretty rough. Pitches, Snap, Bolt, Ancestral, yeah. Dak is so good. Dak is so good. Alright. Fun. Fun. Carns. Flusterstorm. Forwarding out for Blightsteel. Urkel's Recall and Simmet. All right. What can we do? That was a rough game, but that's kind of one of the big reasons it's so hard to why it's such a rough matchup. All right, on the play versus Rug Xerox, we can library. Or they library us. Oh my god, how does this happen every time? Holy shit. So dumb. So dumb, chat. Absolutely wonderful. Just can't he God every time. Yeah, you discard a card. That's right. Or it's actually a reasonable spot to put Karn in. To stop this, they'd have to cast Force of Will and a Flusterstorm, so. They don't. I'm just still on library, but I have a Planeswalker, so. Reveal 2 cards. Remora, Preordain. Then we get a Preordain. Okay. This is fine with me. I can even force this turn and still stay on library. Be an ancestral. Going to be a Nature's Claim on my Mana Crypt. Yeah, it's fine. Everyone in this game is going to have a lot of cards. I'm gonna go get that Remora. Probably gets misstepped. Unfortunately, we just like don't win this kind of counterwire battle, but we do have a Karn ticking up every turn, which is nice. Time Walk's a good one. At any point, we could put something into play with this Karn as well. Might actually read this turn. The Time Walk resolves. I need to keep hitting lands and Moxen. Let's just plus our Karn. Yawgmoth's Will or Fluster's. Fluster's. Dane. I'm just trying to get some of these cards out of my hand so I can pass the turn. If they remove them, I think it's fine because we can always grab this Yawgmoth's Will. If they counter or remove this, I don't really care that much. Next turn is probably our Time Walk turn. Snap Nature's Claim's like reasonable here, but I would just Flusterstorm the Nature's Claim. Could also force the snap. No, the snap doesn't matter. I'll just Flusterstorm the Nature's Claim. It does open us up next turn to like have something big happen where we force and they have Fluster, but I think that's fine. On the Mox Opal. I mean, I have to discard a card anyways. I'm just gonna Fluster this. Probably can let that go and pitch a PO. That might have been better. Letting that go and pitching PO leaves us with force and double Fluster on the next turn. Like a Dak Faden. I guess we can't really beat those cards anyways because they can always have Pyroblast or something. So here's like probably a Dak Faden, which I will force because I can still get back on library. And it's gonna steal my Time Vault, which is fine. Yeah, I definitely should have pitched, let this thing blow up my Opal, pitched for a Paradoxical Outcome, and kept open Fluster. But they're now tapped out, so we can make plays. What are our plays, though? We get up to 2 Time Walk turns, so we make a dude cast Time Walk, snap cast Time Walk. Do we have enough to do that? Make a dude is 2 mana, Time Walk. We have enough to do that. We don't get to draw with our library, though. So a better play probably is to put the Yawg-Will into our hand, activate our library, and Time Walk. But then we can't... Wait, can we just tinker Time Walk? We currently have 6 mana. That costs 7. But we have Snap Time Walk. So if we Demonic Tutor, if we Time Walk and then Demonic Tutor and... Oh, we don't have Blightsteel in our deck, right? We have no Tinker Blightsteel in our deck. So we can't do that. I think this starts with getting Yogwill, drawing a card. Time Walk. Can't snap Time Walk is the problem. So if I go for the first line where I make a guy Time Walk, snap Time Walk, then I get off library. Unless I PO to my hand. This is easily the hardest turn I've had in PO in a very long time. Let's just Time Walk. Yeah, let's do this. Let's grab Yogwill. Time Walk. No, grab Yogwill. Activate library. Holy shit, we hit Lotus. Lotus. Now we can Demonic and Time Walk. Time Walk. Demonic. Yogwill. We just get Mentor. Wait, we can just do Mentor now and then Yogwill next turn? Yeah, that's insane. Alright, so now we go to our next turn. And we Yogwill back everything and win, right? I'll take an extra land here for sure. I guess I don't really need an extra land because casting. Alright, so now we cast Lotus. Now we win. That was insane. The Lotus draw off the top is like pretty unreasonable, I think. I wonder if I can 17 him before even time walking. Yeah. Alright, that was sick. Won the library battle. They tapped out and used Pyroblast, so. We also resolved that Karn really early, which was pretty important. We didn't use up too much time either. We used up a lot of time thinking about our first line, but after that it was pretty good. I don't think I like any of these cards. Even though I was looking for a Tinker Blightsteel line there, you don't really need it. And you don't want it to get decked. Mentor Time Walk is kind of like Blightsteel Time Walk, so. God, this hand's awful. Is it though? Is it awful? Yeah, it's awful. These PO, too many 4-drops here. This hand's okay. Top is a Karn. Yeah, I think that's acceptable actually. Wonder, oh my god, the library again? 3 library games? That's a lot of library games. I am going to preordain. I wasn't going to preordain, but now that they're on library, I'm going to preordain. We need to try to advance our board quickly into this library. Demonic probe, get probe, time walk. Okay, I'm going to bottom time walk, and I'm going to keep the get probe, and I'm going to use the get probe to give us more information and allow us, if they mental misstep, they're off it. Okay, so we're just going to get DAC faded. That's good to know. Yeah, they're just going to cast DAC faded with Fluster backup. That's brutal. Alright, I'm going to hold these jets then. Yeah, I don't know. We just play against hands like this, and it's just going to be very hard for us to ever win. Pretty sad. But this is like, oh, they're gonna stay on library now? Now you choose to stay on library? I don't understand. I guess you get to hold up Flusterstorm this way for my PO. But I'm gonna jam this Karn into you. That's the other card they drew. One of the 2 cards they drew was a Force of Will, in which they could pitch. What does making a 3/3 do? Absolutely nothing. Plus Brainstorm, Time Vault. Well, they're gonna give me Time Vault because that card's garbage. Would love a Brainstorm though. Yeah. Alright. Back to their turn. I assume now we will get DAC faded. Which I will try to Force of Will, I think. They're gonna bolt. They're gonna bolt. Karn is gone. It's library. 3 unknowns. 4 unknowns, probably, actually. Bulk. Here comes the Lotus. Probably the DAC fade-in, which I'm gonna force. I'm gonna make him use the Fluster. I'll put him down off library for a second. Oh, yeah. I don't think we're gonna win this game. I don't think this hand beats the library, but we're gonna try. Do our best. Time walk? Well, at least they don't have a DAC in play before they time walk. This time walk just cantrips. We counter and they Fluster, then they DAC, but who cares? They counter. If we counter and they don't Fluster, we continue doing Karn things. Which is like medium minus. Brainstorm though. Not supposed to Fluster. You're not supposed to force there, so I'm not gonna force there. Maybe they're gonna go Mox DAC fade in here. That would make no sense. It's just a waste of having their Fluster up. Nope. So I think that was not a great use of their Black Lotus, in my opinion, but alright, so now they're going in. They're gonna DAC with Fluster back up. They're off library. Off library for good. We will force this. Because our force is always going to get. Force this. Fluster. Plays a DAC. See what happens to the DAC. Alright. Fine. Oh, Pyroblast, so they still have Fluster. Fluster, Bolt, 2 cards. So they're gonna plus or they're gonna minus? They're gonna minus, yeah, makes sense. Drawing a PO is awful. Just so bad for us. Knowing they have Lightning Bolt makes everything even worse. Because I can't even, like, make a guy and attack into Dak Faden. They just Lightning Bolt it. I'm gonna grab this Brainstorm. Can't get Fluster, but I can get Misstepped if their last card's Misstep. Really? Alright, so their last card is Lightning Bolt, Flusterstorm. They have a Dak in play. We could key our way out of this now that they use their Misstep. So we should actually have pretty good information going forward from here. Lightning Bolt is gone. All they have is Fluster, 2 unknowns. Sure, it'll be Dig Through Time or Cruise or something. Yeah, cool. We can still win with a key off the top. No, they Ancestral. Of course, they hit Ancestral. They hit Ancestral in their top 3 there. Of course. Oh my god, we're dead. Well, it was fun. Can't beat 3 games of Library. Brutal. So brutal. So brutal. These draws were so bad the whole game. New Dak Faden, Steel Time Vault. Sure, dude. Now we don't even have a key outline. So we can now get through Flusterstorm. So if we do draw a Moxen here, we can kind of go off with our PO. Moxen? A Hugwell? Please be 2 Moxen. Ancestral Ponder. Yep. Lotus? Lotus? They hit another misstep! They hit another misstep! Of course they hit a free misstep. Why not? Alright, we're dead. We're dead. We were really dead before, but now we're really, really dead. See? They can just tap out whenever they want. Because free counterspell. We drew very badly this game. We had a PO in our opener, right? So we just drew 1 PO. So I guess we didn't draw that badly. We just drew not good. Happens. So we can go Ancestral, which is what we're going to do. And it's going to get Snap misstepped because free counters. Could also get double countered by like Flusterstorm plus something. Yeah, has a Pyroblast now. Alright, we're done here. There's a Fluster in their hand. That matchup is awful. So bad. What happens, it's like one of the downsides to not playing the Storm version is that matchup is very, very, very hard to win. And you can overpower their counter sweep pretty reasonably when they don't have a library drawing them 2 cards a turn for the whole game. So